My gut is saying Hive. My gut is truthfully saying Hive wins this, and I don't know why, but eUnited has a very real chance to take it. But if I had to say any team is going to win, I'm honestly going with Hive.
And I'm okay with going against you on this one because just how they've been playing recently. And I always say, what have you done for me recently? eUnited have really changed up their pace. Hive, we already seen is dominant. They started last split 7-0. This time around, it's been eUnited really catching teams off guard. And here goes an initial starting off hot. 2 quick eliminations. Kenny's just going to try to stagger the death, but he's hovering over that player as a just in case something slips through. So 3 players dead off this initial for Hive. Solurs caught in between a rock and a hard place. Going for a quick kill on Kenny. Trying to keep this one going. Switches his targets on to Praized, and it's going to be a big battle between him and Praized. DJ gets a double kill, though. That's going to be a big double kill. Solurs could have backed off, buy his team some more time, but when you're on the motion, you're in the motion.
And right now, at this point in time, you obviously have Hive coming off the respawn with the vengeance and pushing Praized all the way back. And they're going to be the first ones to strike and take the neutral, despite EU having an explosive start looking good. But already EU looking to pressure them back. 2 teams, as you mentioned, very similar in play style, and we're seeing those similarities clash. But it looks like Hive might be having the added advantage here.
Yeah, big kills from Noey there. They have that win side of the map as well. Powerz gets taken out. And I talk about it, you got to be careful. When you get 3 players dead, you need to know your role. If you're going for a triple cap, you're going for a setup. EU biting off what seemed like a little bit too much in that situation. TJ getting a double kill, opening it up, putting them in this situation. Now Hive have 2 hills. They have the lead as well, getting explosive, eliminating him. It does look like eUnited's not going to stop, though. They're going to try to catch someone off guard, overextend towards the middle and the bottom half of the map, but INZEM smells this one from a mile away. Not enough damage as he backtracked, putting out the damage with the Lancer, getting Kenny down. Triple cap domination sounding off. Somehow, some way, eUnited prolonged this one.
Somehow, some way, but Solurs downing 2 players, Powerz and Praized. It's going to leave them in no man's land. And once again, the domination starting to sound off. Xplosive barely getting that touch, but short-lived. Kenny tries to get a touch, not going to happen. 4 outs, and eUnited will suffer a loss in round 1 as Hive will take it. Very well done. It was a big battle of attrition for the initial. eUnited looked strong off the start, but Hive slowly but surely were able to gather their numbers, push Praized back, who was trying to lock in the neutral. And from that point forward, Hive just really didn't let go of the pressure and let go of the objective work. So well done from them. Hive takes round 1. See if EU answers back.
Yeah, you kind of said it there. That early initial went onto the side of eUnited. They were able to get those players dead and gone off towards that boat. And those 2 players, they went towards the home hill, but they took 2 different routes. That was both Powerz and Xplosive. Powerz got taken out first, and then Xplosive fell. And that was the real big blunder, because if those players take the same route, they help each other, they stay alive, we're probably still in that first round going down to the wire.
Absolutely. Here we go into the second round. Still a very competitive first round indeed, as you were just breaking it down, and I expect this series to just be incredibly close. Again, I really couldn't call it. My gut just said Hive, but it can absolutely be eUnited, which you ended up going for, right? So this point, Xplosive is going to fall to the wayside. TJ's going to be there for the cleanup. Powerz up top, though, will take down INZEM, and that's going to force TJ to make a move. What does he want to do? Well, he's going to go ahead and battle down low. Try and maybe pressure onto Kenny. There's no hills here, right? So this is just going to be a big battle to see who can gain control from home hill to home hill, who can just at least alleviate some of that pressure. And it looks as if Hive is going to be able to do so. Kenny's going to end up falling to the wayside. Powerz is now going to be on the other side. Big 1v2. Noey slides in, takes him out. And that's 2 players down who are on Stern. Meanwhile, the 1v1 on B, well underway. But luckily, though, for Hive, they do have some added help with INZEM. He is going to be able to get the down on Praized. Solurs will be able to get the cap on B.
Looked like eUnited there was kind of on different pages. They had that player at the bottom of the ramp. Kenny goes to push him, but if he would have just waited a little bit longer, Xplosive would have been there with a Lancer towards the backside. They could have easily tried to use that Wolfpack to stay alive, but Kenny's definitely making up for there. Big down on to TJ. He's looking to get that elimination, pushing forward. Him and INZEM, we've seen them 1v1 a lot on Exhibit, and Kenny lands himself a big double kill, but Praized is getting pushed by Noey. This is going to be a big battle for Noey here to try to keep the game on his side, but 3 players dead at one point or another. Solurs going to be the only player towards the bottom half of the map. If he gets taken out, the tables will turn. That hill will be neutralized, and eUnited will now have an opportunity to take a hill with some uncontested time.
Uncontested time indeed. So well done. eUnited gets that 2-1, forcing Hive to make a decision once again. Xplosive, though, already the pressure is real, backing up, but the Lancer Fire is going to help out, and it's going to make that ramp so difficult. They understand, hey, we have an advantage here. Let's get up and try and get some finishes. Noey takes down TJ, though, unfortunately, and that gives the advantage absolutely over to eUnited, who is now starting to close that vice grip. It's pretty much close at this point. They're going to be able to get this domination. I think Hive might be able to get a touch, but it's going to be short-lived. That distance is there. eUnited's going to put these two members into the blender as they just did, and we're going to be all tied up 1-1.
Good old Hive smoothie right there. And I like the way Kenny played that. He didn't necessarily go in to try to body block. He made sure that he had two teammates lancering there. He was still going to be that person that kind of took the brunt of the damage with a shotgun, but he wanted to make sure that they continued to chain down those people. Even if they got the revives, as you saw there, they're instantly going down, even though then in that case, no revive did come through. So that's going to be a big one. And already in that first round, I like what both of these teams are doing. Setting up your weapons over towards the cargo and pipes. That way, if you or your opponent have to put down that big weapon, you either neutralize that disadvantage that you're at, or you give yourself an even bigger advantage.
All right, tied up 1-1. You love to see it. Big map for Hive to start it off to get that series score up 1-0. Added insurance, right? Especially heading into map 2. Understand you can get that 2-0. Maybe even if you do lose it, that's fine. You have a map 3 to recover. eUnited much the same, though. They win Harbor here and then head into Vasgar. They might be in a good spot to take this 2-0. But here we go. Once again, the fight, the initial underway. Big 3v3 on Winch. It looks like both rosters are going to be committing down low, so this is going to be pretty impactful. Whoever ends up winning this is going to have a tremendous advantage. Team members on the ground. Chain revives underway. INZEM gone. He's finished. 1v1 now between Xplosive and Noey. Noey covering the distance despite being lancered still. Manages to recover, and now Praized is in a tough spot. He's going to be lancered out. That's going to give Solurs the opportunity to get enough to be Praized. He really doesn't have a say in it.
Praized immediately pushing up. It has to be the call come through from Powerz. He's going to be in the middle map trying to deal as much damage as possible. Solurs backtracks just in the nick of time to get some help, but Kenny somehow finds a kill onto Noey towards Wedge. That was that Lancer Fire that you saw early on, and now they're pushing up without it, and it instantly cost them their lives. Now TJ stuck in that same spot, but even worse, because Powerz is going to be there. Big shots being dealt out, though. Powerz takes all the damage. The bait and switch. Praized gets the down. Continuing to go push forward is eUnited as multiple eliminations get picked up again. Solurs is off for respawn, but he's going to need a miracle. He's going to need some trades, and he gets none of it as eUnited cruise to get their second round and go up 2-1 here in our finals.
And Jacob, Hive clearly having some issues here. A breakdown in communication or just a breakdown in strategy overall of really what they want to do. Their initials are looking solid. We've seen them take Bravo time in and time out. Their objective work is looking good off the start. But things start to get a bit muddy once eUnited gets back into the fight. They reallocate their numbers appropriately. And then obviously that's where EU starts to retake control. That winch fire has been so big. Getting Noey out of that position was critical in helping those players get onto Doc, get onto B, and then of course eventually and ultimately go for the overextension. Gotta say, eUnited is definitely looking scary, and I don't know what it is, Jacob. Maybe you do. Hive, though, they're just falling apart in that mid game.
Yep, that mid game is what's really important. That's where that chess battle does take place, as long as you survive the initial, where you saw it. Hive did win that initial battle, but immediately off of respawn, I don't know if it was Praized, I don't know if it was Powerz, heck, it could have been Xplosive, called for Powerz to push in through the middle, which created that mismatch. Solurs had to fall back. Kenny got a kill on Noey, who was lancering down. So eUnited just playing the long game. They're looking at the bigger picture here, and immediately starting off hot. A quick trade in downs, but answering back is Hive as TJ picking up both of those downs. Powerz gets taken out as well. 3 players off of this initial dead for eUnited.
Well, I mean, this is how it's been, has it not, Jacob? Hive wins the initial, but what can they do to hold on to control? That is the biggest question. I think at this point, though, they're going to be quite all right. They're going in for the domination. I see a Shock is also out there, and Praized understands, look, it's just not going to happen. So does Powerz. Well done. And that's the way Hive wants to win these rounds. That's what the intended effect is in those big 3v3 battles on Stern. Hive wants a quick round, okay? Because they know, hey, if it does get to mid to late game, we have less and less of a chance to take it over eUnited because they're just too strong. Their strategy is too good. Their bag of tricks runs deep, and they always have something that they can pull out to just kind of take you off guard. So well done. They take that round. Can they do a little bit more? We're all tied up 2-2.
And because it's so evenly matched, like you said, 2-2, nobody wants to put that big weapon up top. Because as soon as you put that big weapon up top, I'm not going to say you close down every option, every bit of strategy, but you got to kind of put that focus up towards the top. Either that or you're instantly wasting your shock grenade to prevent that player from picking up. But as soon as that shock grenade goes out, there goes your strategy before these players even go towards up top. So that's exactly why no big weapons being placed just yet. We got the same fight over towards the winch. This time around, it's going to be INZEM getting that first down, but Powerz is the one who gets first blood, instantly revived by Xplosive himself.
Absolutely, and those revives are critical. The chain revive, something that helped the United earlier when they played against Rise, was tough to get through just the staggering numbers through that wolf pack. Multiple fights going down. I thought for sure INZEM was going to be able to get the best of Kenny there, but he doesn't. Kenny continues to impress me. He's just been playing so very well tonight. The Egghead really starting to go big. A birthday the other day, by the way, on Easter of all things, to Egghead, and TJ pulls up and says, enough talk about Kenny, talk about me. I got the two-piece. Well done.
That's what I'm saying. He was kind of unfairly took the brunt of that eUnited lost when it was back to 5v5s, when they were UIU. Unfairly, even I put a little bit too much pressure on him, but you can see it wasn't him. It was just the makeup of the team, the chemistry. I said you can have the best players in the game all on the same team, but it not work because of chemistry. And now you see players like INZEM that didn't have the best showing on Rise. They're all coming together under this Hive banner, already winning mid-split playoffs, looking to take E-Days, looking to take another Pro League as they're already 2-0. This is where it's going to be up to eUnited here to make a push. They get that quick down onto Solurs, and now that home hill is theirs.
Home hill is going to be theirs. You can see scoreline's so incredibly close. It's truly anybody's game, but you notice player number 6, it's going to be TJ's managed to rotate all the way through the map for Hive to keep it a little bit more competitive, give them the added edge, and allow them to potentially keep that lead in their favor, which of course they end up doing, but they don't have control just yet. Now for eUnited, they're in a tricky spot, Jacob, given the fact that they're living in Hive spawn. There's going to be constant reinforcements. It's so difficult to keep your opponent's home hill locked in place. But one benefit though is when those players do come fresh out the respawn, if you're chaining together kills and Hive on the other players who are across the map or even up in Stern like INZEM, he's not getting reinforcements, so therefore he's going to get pincered. And I don't know, man. INZEM's trying to do his best, and he does on the Kenny, takes him out, gets away, but eUnited's going for the domination. They won't get it, but do they still have the win condition even though Hive gets their home hill back?
No, that's definitely going over to eUnited here, especially if they're able to get this second hill under their belt. But the longer they wait, the more possibility you're getting the Hive to climb back into this one if they can keep claiming up these points. I'm at eUnited to get back into this one, but yep, you can already see the win condition. 30 seconds left. eUnited will come back. So the tables have turned. We've seen the eUnited effect a few times here today. Can Hive take a page out of their playbook?
Let's see if they definitely do. COG team does have that win in 20 seconds. Hive has to get to work very quickly, and it's going to start right here, right now. Noey at the forefront. Might be able to blindside a couple. The good shot, or excuse me, stun, but not able to get any effect off of it so far. INZEM, though, takes down Kenny and Xplosive, and you talked about a Hive smoothie. What about an eUnited smoothie? Hive takes the win condition back, and this is going to be their round. They lead 3-2.
And just in the later seconds, it comes down to really defensively stopping them because the eUnited didn't have enough time to rotate around the map, because if they did, they will get mismatched towards the top. The hills will change hands, and that would be done data after that one because you already had the lead as well. So coming into this one, 3-2. Hive with the upper hand here. So they're going to have to place that weapon first. You can go to the safe pick, upgrade your pistols, or you can go for something fresh, put something in the middle. Safe picks. We already know. Blow for blow is the safe picks.
Absolutely. Safe picks indeed, man. Keep it all the same because it has been so back and forth. No reason to drastically change things. Either way, though, I like seeing these pure fights. I really do. I've been saying that for some time. It's always great to watch a fight for a torque bow or a long shot or an M-bar, but it's always nice just to see the teams utilize their strategy, right? Utilize their objective work with the weapons that they have that's identical on both sides. You really get to see the best in the teams come out and the better team truly taking the victory in the end, because I feel when a power weapon's down, it really comes down to just who can outslay off the initial, right? And with Harbor, we already know these initials can really dictate the round, and you can finish off in 30 seconds if you obviously meet head on with the other team. So this is nice. INZEM's down. Powerz gets to clean up. Now the focus on the TJ.
Yep. that had to have been a focus by the full team effort. Somebody yelled it, somebody called it out. He goes down. The numbers mismatch. Noey's definitely going to be the next target. He's already taken that pre-damage. He gets down. They're going to leave him there and try to catch these players off of respawn. And I like the route Xplosive is taken, trying to get close towards Praized. That way, if a down does come through, he can get the revive, but nothing is going to be given up as both Xplosive and Praized taken inch by inch. CJ goes down. Retro is out. INZEM goes down. And this round is in the books for eUnited as they tie it up 3 rounds apiece.
Jeez, 53 seconds. And again, there you go. It comes to show you Harbor's one of those maps. A strong initial means a strong finish in just under a minute. And that's kind of how this paces out. Either way, though, for eUnited to bring it back up 3-3, keep Hive away from obviously having that coveted 4-2, making your chances that much slimmer of winning the map is huge. And I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing. So we're going to go ahead and have those retros. They hit hard. They hit like a ton of bricks. If you get a chance to use them, after all. We didn't get a chance to use them last round. But I don't know, Jacob. It's so back and forth. INZEM on the other side. Ooh. So high prioritizing an instant kill. Fair enough.
That means, I believe that could mean, depending on how teams use their lock, eUnited might not get an INZEM or might not get to use their lock accordingly. But I could be wrong. That's you know, the story to every caster. I could be wrong.
Honestly, and that's why I get memes so much, man, because it's not I could be wrong. I'm typically always wrong. Big fights, downs either which way. Kenny through the smoke looking to take down Noey, but now he's met up with 3 players, and he's got to be very careful here. Luckily, he does have some help with the Lancers, but Solurs is going to manage to take down 1. That's going to be Praized, who ends up falling. Now, Hive in trouble, going down the ramp, and this ramp, whether it be on that side or the other side, is just so hard to battle through, and eUnited understands their positioning. They've got a great power spot, and they're going to take full advantage of it. They managed to break through. They're going to be on Hive's home hill, and Solurs is also going to be pressured hard, too. He has the instant, could connect it, doesn't, hits the wall, gets a hit marker. He's dipping out. He's like, I'm gone. But you got to get the E, and I don't think he has enough time to get the touch.
I'm not sure he does either. That's going to be it. eUnited take that round away. And Solurs, he probably should have stayed and fight it, but at the same time, he probably dies if that's the case. Things beginning to go wrong for Hive as eUnited chain together 2 consecutive rounds, getting them team their momentum. And I feel like we've been here forever. This is only map number 1.
Map number 1 indeed. Man, if eUnited can take this map, a map that they have struggled on for quite some time because of over-aggression, and I say struggle lightly. I mean, granted, when they have lost, they've lost in very close series, and I think they actually have been on the upward trend, if I'm not mistaken, statistically on Harbor. So they've clearly been getting better and better and better on this map, and the shocks are out of the way. Fair enough. You know, honestly, though, in the past couple of initials, the shocks really haven't been too impactful, so I expect this to still go about the same way, and it could be Hive or eUnited, but I gotta tip my hat to eUnited. I think they've been slaying much better on this winch fight.
I thought something fishy was going to happen. I thought it was they weren't going to be able to use their lock accordingly for eUnited. It's actually Hive. They're going to have to play something center line if they do win this one. So the fight will change up a little bit. The opportunity for Marksa to be there, so it doesn't have to be a big weapon, but something will go down toward that center line as early positioning going over to eUnited. They're going to get that capture. They're going to get the early point lead, putting the pressure onto Hive here to make a move, but slowly but surely, they're going to get the inches necessary to fight for up top. Somebody's going to get into the pocket as well. Kenny goes down, opening up this one for Hive to gain control of that neutral hill. Luckily, eUnited is to be able to build themselves a 20-point cushion to try to get these rotations here, or to try to stay alive, to try to get a retake before Hive gains too much of a lead themselves.
And Hive is definitely going to take that lead to the bank. But this is my worry again. Hive has been great off of the initials, great off of closing out rounds early on, but as the rounds do elongate, that's where eUnited starts to capitalize. Still, though, so hard to get up that ramp. Much the same as I was saying against Hive earlier, it's the same thing for eUnited. They're going to have to kind of, you know, hang back a little bit. And Hive has put themselves in a great spot, Jacob. They're going to have about a 30, 40-point lead before eUnited even has a chance to push up.
This is where that early damage comes through. You get that lead. And this is where you have to be decisive about what you want to do, depending on what the scoreline is. Are you defending? Are you trying to push up? Early down coming out, though, for the side of eUnited and Hive, actually. Xplosive goes down twice. Kills coming through. Praized and Powerz finding themselves eliminated. And Powerz gets taken out. I should say Xplosive there. So there's 3 players dead on the side of eUnited. It's going to be up to Kenny to prolong this round. But this is where that situation comes. Kenny almost has to know you don't cap in that situation to go down. You just need to buy the time for your team. He bought his team some time, but could have bought more. Triple cap domination sounding off. It's not going to go through, but kills over hills is the name of the game for eUnited. They need a triple neutralization and to be able to hold on to it. So this is where that eUnited effect comes into play. Will it be successful again?
Well, Hive just needs to shut down this engagement, shut down this push, and that's a great start. Getting Xplosive out of the way. Praized wins the fight. INZEM, a must-win, and he gets it. And that is going to make them feel a lot more comfortable. Oh, and a nice shot onto Kenny. I thought it was maybe there was another chance, but sound that horn, baby. You deserved it. We're heading in to round 9.
And this is where Hive winning that round. Now they have to put that weapon first. That possibility of a big weapon going center line is there. They could try to throw a Marksa down low as a distraction. Maybe put it up top to where it's not necessarily the main focus. It's only picked up after the game is over. But you could already see both the Shock and the Incense are on their side. So something on their side of the map is not going to be possible.
What the? Okay, so Hive. It's those frags. Okay, you like to see that. Not the biggest impact, but obviously frags are definitely something you want to fight for. That fight's going to happen regardless. So it's just going to make that initial a little bit more valuable. Now the Shocks are in play. They weren't in play last round. So I'm curious to see how much of an impact it has on Hive, who just won the last round. But this is important. I mean, it comes down to the wire. And eUnited has been here before, you know, round 9, only to lose it. So we'll see if they can kind of break that curse and take it here. Hive's committing more, though. They're committing 3 players to this fight a lot earlier. That should give them frags early on, but we've got to watch out for the Shock. Shock is thrown, but TJ's fine.
Oh, they're there. They're trying to surround him. TJ's fine up until there. He takes himself out, trying to go for the elimination on Kenny. Cheeky play. Makes me wonder if he had any frag grenades out to kind of be grabbed there by Kenny, because he did kill himself. He's looking for him. Not. Oh, did he get him? I'm trying to look at the. He actually gets a frag. Kenny gets one. So eUnited has 2 hills. Round number 9. Kenny has the frags. He spots out his flash. No utility. Nothing is going to waste on the side of eUnited. That's going to make this push that much harder. And if they can easily back up, let Hive take the positioning and answer back with a frag.
All right, here we go. Shock is thrown. That's a well-placed Shock. That's going to force Kenny out of positioning. He is going to be fully encompassed. Frag is going to be out. He's going to go ahead and throw it over towards TJ. TJ's down, so... and he connects on the Noey. The frag is huge, and eUnited knows there's blood in the water, and they're going forth like sharks. This is a feeding frenzy. This round is about to be over, and eUnited is about to secure map 1.
Yeah, this is just very, very unfortunate. Another elimination coming through. Triple cap domination sounding off. Lands the shot, and then chainsaw on the other side of the map as eUnited is going to close out map number 1, 5-4.
5-4 indeed. It wasn't easy. It was not easy by any means, but one of the downsides for a Hive was, again, their mid to late game, Jacob. Their initials, no worry. They were able to take the fight to eUnited very easily. They looked solid. They looked good. But as those rounds extended, that's where they started to fall behind. Sounds familiar to me. In a way, it sounds like Fire and Ice. Remember, if I was talking about Fire and Ice before, whenever we were talking about them, and you know, they're great off the start. They're great off the initial. That's where they're strongest. But mid to late game, they start to show some errors. They can't lock in defensively. And, well, they fall apart in much the same way as Hive just did. eUnited, they ate them alive. They really did. Well done from eUnited. Those late games were basically everything. And now they're heading into their map pick, Jacob Vasgar.
And that kind of shows, though, there on the map, like Harbor, where we talk about that big weapon being played out. That was blow for blow. There was no need for that big weapon. I'd go ahead and throw those frag grenades down, not wanting it to be a drop, torque bow, M-bar, so on and so forth, because they didn't want things to change the tide. They were able to get control of them. TJ got taken out by Kenny, leaves the grenade on the ground, and that kind of, I wouldn't say the final nail in the coffin there, but it really played a difference when they were trying to go for their retake. And that's going to be the important note, because Hive could have easily put a Marksa in the middle. They could have easily put it down low to where it's not going to affect the initial. If you lose the initial, it's not going to affect too much after that either, but they chose to put those frag grenades down, and that's where I talk about it. They were confident as a team. They were even able to get it, but like I said, TJ going down, leaving it through. If TJ just would have died and not have the frag grenade down, this would have been a little bit of a different retake.
Remember, and also TJ was knocked down. He was down but not out by somebody. And I don't know if it was necessarily Kenny, but Kenny definitely did get the frag grenade to kill him and take him down. And I think Noey was also connected as well, if I'm not mistaken, from that frag. So that was a two-piece. And again, you mentioned there was no reason to place that that weapon up top, right? But they did, and it ended up being their undoing, unfortunately. But seriously, well done from eUnited. Again, this is a map that they have definitely had their struggles on, but they continue to improve. They continue to get better, and I think not even just on this map, but I think as a whole, right, as a whole unit. So there's Kenny, throws out the frag. TJ is dropped from Xplosive, and then Noey and TJ are finished off by the frag. So well done from Kenny to be evil, and honestly to have the heads-up play, keeping his head on a swivel, right, to even know the nades were there.
Yeah, no, that was actually one of the things I wanted to point out because I've seen it a few times during Pro League. It's not much. It's not really a massive difference maker, but it's one of those quality of life that'll make things easier. When you know you killed that player, when you know he just killed himself, I should say, with that frag grenade, it's got to be out. It's still got to be around, especially since you didn't hear two explosives. And I've seen drop shots be left on the ground, snipers be left on the ground because people are so antsy. They think they got to go at a moment's notice. We've seen it time and time again. 30 seconds left on the clock, 45 seconds left on the clock. eUnited knows how to play with time on the clock.
And they definitely do. And look, they're a well-rounded team, you know, and it makes sense. They've got a lot of smarts there. They've got a lot of veteranship and a lot of experience in general. Taking that first map, though, is definitely the way to start this series off. And I know Hive is going to be feeling the effects of that one. It's the first time they've been challenged tonight. It's much the same thing for eUnited, right? The first time they've been challenged tonight. So well done. Still, I expect a long series ahead of us, but there's a very real chance now that eUnited could take a 2-0 victory in a way that I didn't expect. I really didn't expect a 2-0, but if they get it, well done. It just continues to show how much they've improved and how much better they're going to continue to be. You can beat Hive, you can beat anybody at this point.
Yep, it's one thing. I just need to see it consistently because you can already see it. Not too many teams in general, when it comes to E-Days, to Pro League, to those majors, they're consistent through and through. Some teams have their great showing. Some teams have their weak showing. So I'm waiting for that position that we talked about through the mid-split of the season, to where teams get lackadaisical, they get overconfident. But, one of these teams right here, one started 7-0, one didn't have the best start last season, but now they're kind of both having an incredible start to this split. And I do believe they're kind of both undefeated. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So this E-Days, I'm not going to say it means everything in terms of their Pro League record, but hey, this could be the difference maker in terms of who's starting off hot for the rest of the split.
Absolutely. And I think, yeah, this would be, believe it or not, I know it's crazy to say, this would be eUnited's first championship if they win tonight. They haven't won yet during all of season 3, or at least since maybe during season 3. I'd have to go back in my notes, but at least for whatever phase 1 ended up starting. Okay. Phase 1 ended up starting. So, hey, this would be a good opportunity for them. Let's see if they can make it happen, Captain. But at least right now, they're also undefeated and torching our time without question. Like we have been having our time torched by Hive. Now it's being, is it eUnited? No, it's not. Again, they're all 4 here. You guys squared away. You guys got it. Now Hive's 8 up. I'm so glad I said that in the PG way. I'm so glad I said that in the PG way because I'm so used to saying it in a totally different way. But I lost myself at that moment. But they're 8 up, man. They're 8 up. So
that's where, like I said, the only acceptable reason here being, if you're talking over strategy, you took a big loss in that round number 9. You're defending champions when it comes to that mid-split playoffs. You have to come out swinging here hot, because if you allow eUnited to convincingly win 1, maybe 2 rounds at the beginning of this one, they're going to start laughing. They're going to start having fun, and then it's going to be lights out. You got to be able to at least keep these rounds competitive if you're going to go ahead and start to lose these early rounds.
All right, well, they're all competitive. They're all here, Jacob. The gang's all here, baby, and we're about to get it going. You still standing behind eUnited, or maybe you switching sides and going with Hive?
Not this time. Not this time around. I'm sticking with eUnited. Like, this is some teams, I do my air quotes using this as practice, even though this is a live tournament match for some money. I'm going to use this as practice for my predictions. I need all the practice I can get.
Okay, fair enough. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point in time, I think eUnited had it all along. eUnited is one of those teams that I think coming into the series was definitely the stronger team. And Hive was going to have their hands full. My gut was saying EU, and it's looking like it could be correct. So I think both of us were absolutely right in our prediction process. So we'll see if they can lock it in map number 2, Jacob.
Yep, as they go in, it's going to be like in that first one, United's just looking at, like, hey, they had us in the first half. I'm not going to lie. They had us. The It's not how you start. It's how you finish. And honestly, you've seen it time and time again. Even way back when we had the lives and the respawn counters, you would see a team go down early into that first half. They get their lives dwindled away. Some of these players even get diminished, not able to spawn back in. But in that second half, something that switch flips in their head. They start playing a little different. They start thinking a little different. You can kind of see it in their live counters as well. Even though we don't necessarily have that, you can kind of go back and count the deaths yourselves. Almost the same thing kind of happens where a team is able to flip that switch, pick it up in the second half. It could be a number of variables, number of factors, different strategies, different hill locations. You start playing a little different and you start building that momentum onto your side and fixing those mistakes and adapt as the game goes on. You can kind of see it happen and which teams it consistently happens in and which teams it doesn't.
Yeah, so I didn't get to ask at the beginning of the broadcast. How's your streams been going, brother? Did you had a chance to do any VOD review at all for the Pro League?
I didn't do much VOD review. I did watch the ending of one of the matches, but I mean, it's pretty fun. You can kind of see a lot of the same mistakes happening within the teams, even though they're cleaning up their mistakes. The mistakes that they do make, a lot of the same ones are still happening. And this is why I kind of brought up that factor of the IGL and how big of a difference it makes. So you can kind of see it when these teams are winning the rounds in the fashion that they do versus kind of scraping together last second pushes, going down to an all-out brawl. You can kind of see it, like I said, that optic effect, that eUnited effect. It comes down to giving them time. Heck, I wouldn't leave Tom Brady with 2 minutes on the clock. Would you?
Yeah, because he does it every time. I mean, he makes it happen. He really
down
does.
The field. You allow players like Xplosive. And I wouldn't say so much about franchise now, but in the history books, it's on his side. If you leave these players time to think, if you leave these players time on the clock to get that last second push, they'll begin to find that pick, to find that player out of position, or they'll make that split push out at the same time. And that's a very dangerous attribute to have onto your side. You don't want it to a team like Hive to where you give that team time, you hold on defensively, you put all your eggs in that basket, and then it costs you in the end. And today, we've already seen it numerous times for the teams going up against the United.
Tom Brady was the savior for Ryan, and then eventually ended up being, I guess, the guy to put him in the grave. Funny how that works. I don't know, man. He's just a GOAT, is what it is. But I give Ryan respect. He stuck by the Patriots, though. He really did. He stuck by him, and you know, he wasn't just hopping from team to team. No, was he really? Oh, never mind then. Hey, look. Hey, okay, maybe he's just a Brady fan. I'm getting confirmation of that. Fair enough. Look, we got our own vices. I can't really speak much on it because you already know I don't really know sports too much. Played them all my life, but I don't really watch them anyways. Check it out, man. I like esports. And Hive off the start, they're getting 2-1.
There you go. Explosive really just fighting for his life, going through the ringer. But the result's going to be the same. Hive's going to be able to take him out, get that hill into their hands as well. Kenny's doing what he can, but he gets downed out, passes out by Noey's pistol. So Hive's going to be able to hold on to these two hills, rack up that score line. So it's going to be up to eUnited to not only spawn up here and have some sort of answer back. You're going to see those two players spawn up. They're going to go down low. Maybe one goes towards the top. This is where it's going to be a little bit of a split push. Yeah, that's where Xplosive is going to go down low. He's going to try to distract those two players down low as long as possible while his team tries to take that 3v2 mismatch. But INZEM already rotating. It's a little bit late, if I may say so myself, but that's going to be up to Hive here to come up clutch, land the kills, but Powerz gets first blood. Second one coming through. TJ gets taken out. That's all about is INZEM playing hide and seek. Lands that kill onto Kenny. Lands a big shot, but another one as well. Two quick kills and a late rotation, an ill-advised rotation coming through, but Powerz lands the blow onto INZEM, getting that elimination, putting the pressure onto Hive here. He's not going to go for a trip cap domination, but he's wasting time, allowing his teammates not only to spawn up, but get in position defensively.
Powerz just been playing so good, and he is really the factor as to why eUnited now not only has a 2-1, but also is going to be able to close out this deficit, unless you know, Hive can get on to Bravo, which is a very real possibility. Noey's already set up to get that decap. But here we go, man. Xplosive once again looking over onto Tank. eUnited getting so close to flipping the script. And these moments are critical, Jacob, as you know, man. When you're this close to 250 on both sides, every hill matters, every fight matters. If you end up losing even these 2v2s, you're done for.
Thanks, man.
There you go. Example right there in front of us. Solurs only goes down. Last second effort. This is enough time on the clock for Hive to retake this lead. So eUnited has to go on this side of the map. INZEM put a lot of damage on one player, but the bait and switch coming through. They have to push forward. A third player coming through. TJ with a massive flank. No points being gained for eUnited. Triple cap domination sounding off. Even if they get the touch onto the home hill, I think this 2 hills for Hive this late in the game is going to be enough for them to close it out.
Absolutely, looking good. Hive, you got this in the back. Kenny trying to go big, gets one. Are they going to be able to get on all hills? No, they are not. Hive, well done. 1-0 lead so far. Got a bit shaky at certain points, but again, when you get that late into the game, you're tied up 180 to 180. Literally every fight is the difference maker, and in this case, obviously, was Hive coming out ahead. So well done from them, clutching up, handling their business, taking the first round.
This is going to be, I want to say interesting anymore because it's not interesting. We know every single time on this map, weapon number 1 going down is going to be a bull talk. Unless the team wants to change up the meta, I said metal, but meta, and get aggressive right off the rip. We've seen Elevate do it early on Foundation. Honestly, on a map like that, you need to figure out something. I don't disagree with that weapon placement. I just would like to see them attack it sooner. But on this one, we talked about that pistols going down. Until one team gains a huge advantage and starts gaining momentum, I think that's going to be the standard, like we've already seen in map number 1.
All right, here we are. eUnited trying to answer back. They've got a large presence onto B. TJ getting that pressure on early, and coming through is going to be Xplosive. Thought it was a bit of an error with a misroll, but man, you talk about clutching up. Finishes off a couple. Matter of fact, take down all 4 of Hive, and eUnited looks to lock in this this domination. Player 1's going to be their TJ. He just needs to get at least 1. That's all at this point to allow his teammates to get in there, and he does. He gets 1, tries to go up for the second, but he wastes enough time to keep Hive in it.
Hey, he did his job there, even though he's going to die and respawn back up into this one. Keeping your team alive in the round and continuously playing it is going to be the name of the game. But you see Kenny racing over the top versus INZEM. He gets tagged up just a little bit. INZEM, he wants to be offensive. I don't know if he's going to have the help necessary to clean up the skill, especially with Praized taking out Noey, but he's going to push it all by himself. Gets the down. He needs to keep his team alive. He's going to do just that. That kill is going to be cleaned up by Solurs. But just like eUnited, when they come off of respawn, they try to keep that stretched over toward that tank with their numbers, but then backtrack. Try to stretch out the numbers and keep them guessing. Even INZEM's going to try to backtrack. Everybody from Hive is going to try to help to keep this one in their favor, and they need to continue to stagger up these deaths because they still have their points doubled up by eUnited.
It's going to be a big comeback for sure, but man, I don't know. The way that Hive is shooting, they are looking pretty solid, and the opportunity is absolutely there. Kenny, tough spot, full rent. INZEM knows this, and he's going to push in. Kenny throws out the utility, not enough. Tough spot, INZEM clutches up. Domination coming through. Noey looking to get the chunk. Can't get it just yet, but his teammate's going to be there for the pickup and the finish. And I believe they are going to be able to get it this time. Praized stopped at the 1-yard line and just, hey, sometimes you just got to clothesline them, brother. Just step in the way, be annoying, man. You can't get through a body. And in that case, you absolutely couldn't. Well done.
I'm so glad you said clothesline. That's literally what he looked like. Bradshaw from the APA hitting him with the clothesline from hell.
All right.
Immediately dropping the meat. He dropped the meat shield. Oh my God. Noey is just disgusting right now in Hive with a 2-0 lead. That's how you build momentum. That's how you know Hive is having fun now.
Absolutely. Well, and see, that's the thing. When you're having fun, you're playing well. That's just bottom line, period. When you get too tense, you get too stressed out, that's when your errors start to come out. And, you know, it's easy to, you know, get hard on yourself, I think, especially whenever you just start losing. But again, Hive is a group of friends. You know, they're a group of friends. They like to have fun. They like to enjoy themselves, and they play at their best when they do so. So, and they know, look, they're coming. Yeah, they're down 1-0 in the series, Jacob, but they lost 5-4. They lost in a close round 9, right? So that's what it came. It's not like they got blown out of the water. So they came into map 2, I think, with a fresh mindset, ready to go again.
That's exactly what you got to have to do. You got to have that fresh mindset. You got to be able to shake it off. It's much easier said than done, especially for us who don't have to go through the battlefield like a lot of these players. But it's a must-have there. But oh my God, a well-calculated flash. Not going to be enough though. Xplosive with that retro, I do believe, going to catch him slipping. But that was a great flash to go through. This is where I go ahead and look at the other side of the map. You almost got to answer back instantly because you're giving eUnited enough time to rotate around. You see it Xplosive with that retro, and there's the damage going to be done. He's putting out a lot of damage on INZEM. Not able to clean up the down just yet, but they get a double down to come through. One revive is going to pop off, so not able to clean up all those eliminations just yet, but there it goes. The elimination's finally cleaned up, and TJ going to be the last player alive, doing what he can to prolong the battle, and he takes it against Praized. So Hive is staying in this one. 2-0 lead, blow for blow. This is going to continue.
And there's nobody that understands eUnited's strategy on this map more so than TJ. He's been on the other side, and he just knows what to do. Great clutch moment for him. He loves that tank fight, and he's always a factor that you have to keep into account and you have to deal with because he is really one of those guys that can just make things happen. Kenny, another one too, but well done from Kenny and Powerz. Another 3 go down. TJ, once again, last one standing up, and I don't care how well he's playing, the rest of the team's not staying up, you're not going to win.
Yep. Unfortunately, TJ's the guy that has to at least touch the hill to buy the time, and they kind of chased him out. And that's where the communication comes into play. You almost got to know that situation as those players are dying. You should have gave TJ more than enough time to try to go down low, but maybe they did. Maybe TJ just decided to try to push. Thought he had an easy 1v1, but regardless, eUnited is going to be on the board here. Still trailing 2-1, but better late than never. If you close out this gap before the half comes in, you got a fresh state. It's basically a best of 5 in rounds.
100%. 100%. All right. So eUnited, well done. That was probably, well, that was their strongest round we have seen yet here on Vasgar. We'll see if they can replicate that success. We'll have shocks on both ends. Fair enough. And we'll go into the last round of the first half, which is always going to be a good one to kind of set the pace. I think more so for Hive, right, to set that 3-1 lead would absolutely have them feeling pretty good. eUnited, though, to go into second half 2-2 all tied up, fresh start, they'll be feeling all right at that point in time. So I think Hive can gain more value from this round, obviously, than that of eUnited. But see how it goes down for INZEM. He's getting peppered a little bit. Powerz doing a great job snubbing out. INZEM's going to fall. Utilities out, and Powerz isn't going to waste any time. He's going to use this opportunity to push these boys back, lock in the hill, and he did exactly that.
Yeah, what an amazing way to do it, too, because you already saw the different strategy coming out from Hive. They sent 3 players over onto this side of the map and tried to attack right away. United did a good job stopping it, but now here comes the second retake push on the home hill. Solurs going to land himself some eliminations along with Noey as well. As soon as they get Xplosive, that will be 3 players dead. That hill is going to change hands. So even though United were able to get an early lead, it's going to be Hive. We're in the driver's seat trying to get back the points that they lost early on.
At this point, eUnited looking to retake A, but they're going to have a big fight on B. It's going to be a 2v3. The benefit, though, is going to be player 8. I believe going to be Xplosive, who going to be able to be on the other side of Lancer out, but he needed Praized to stay up. He was going to get that chip damage. Therefore, now eUnited is going to readjust, pull an audible, and send 3 players over to C. But for Hive, good heads up, keeping the head on the swivel. They rotate 3 members themselves to match the 3 of eUnited. So this is going to be a big battle that is going to determine who's going to maintain the point lead or who's going to retake it.
I think this is more important for Hive here, rightfully so. First blood in this exchange, going over to TJ. But there's still 3 players over here. Noey knows that one coming. I talked about him sneaky player during those playoffs. He being sneaky yet again, an opportunity to get some shots towards the backside, but eUnited able to find the first one. Here goes the shot I was talking about. 2 downs coming through. That makes that 3 as Noey and INZEM basically mowed down the offense from eUnited, putting a stop into the tracks and leaving 1 player by himself in Powerz. That's going to be more damage being traded off. Powerz does have the upper hand for a moment. INZEM, or I should say Noey, forced to back up here. INZEM going to be on that flank to come through. Triple cap domination opportunity, but they know they need another round of eliminations to come through. They need to force these players out. 1 more down on a Praized. TJ gets taken out, but Noey keeping the advantage onto their side. They're going to get the hills, but Xplosive did a good job to buy his team some time, but it's not over just yet. A triple neutralization is needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And that 1v2, excuse me, from Powerz needed to happen. It doesn't. Tough spot for them to be in. The shocks are going to keep them at bay just a little bit longer. They're forced to push in, and well, that's going to be it. Noey says, I want a little bit more, man. He just jumped straight over to cover into the shock. He knew the round was over. Hive takes the 3-1 lead. And again, that round was impactful for Hive, and they gain more value because they now have that lead. eUnited has to fight even harder to come back, whereas Hive, yes, they still have to fight just as hard, but they're that much closer to forcing a map 3.
This is where you're going to see that pistol getting built up again. especially because how close it is. And I say how close, even though it is 3-1 to Hive, each of these rounds really coming through it. Even one mistake could turn the tides at a moment's notice. And this is where EU getting interesting. I know they're playing tricks on us as casters, you know, like to float over that middle, possibly playing some tricks on the other team, but that pistol is going to go down nonetheless. And I like the where every weapon is placed. I know this is kind of standard, but the reason why I'm saying it is because whoever is controlling that D side of the map, that top portion with that bull talk when it's there, can rain down from above, not only out those players towards tank, but across the map as well.
All right, here we go. Getting into the fresh second half now. As you mentioned, the F-Hill is going to be shifted back, but the tank fight's still going to be big. Utility's going to be out for eUnited. They're looking to make that first move. But of course, you have to deal with TJ once again. I mentioned he loves this tank fight. He's going to be at the forefront. The shock is going to stop the EU players from pushing in for just a little bit. Actually, for good measure, Noey wins the 1v1 against Powerz on the other side. So Hive is... they're pretty much chilling at this point, man. Now eUnited really has to push an F. They can't waste any time.
Yep, and I like what eUnited did. They do that trick flash over the top. And I know it's a flash that you kind of aim and you practice time and time again because you can cover up the entire backside, but leave yourself enough space to take it yourself. I've had no choice but to answer back with a shock of their own, which kind of stalemates in this situation. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, there was a big 1v1 by Noey to kind of take control of that neutral, which is one early on by EU, but Kenny and Powerz working together to get Solurs out of the middle, and they have their eyes set on Noey. He knows he needs to be aggressive, and the good shots being landed. He takes out Powerz yet again in this round. Noey is 2-0 against what could be considered one of the league MVPs. Big shots being landed. Him versus Kenny. Great melee to know when exactly to use that lunge to come through as Kenny takes out Noey, turning the tides once more. It's not over just yet because they have some coming back to do, while Hive is going to have to defend this hill, or at least the positioning on the other side of the map.
And it starts with TJ and INZEM. INZEM falls. So does TJ and eUnited looking good. Going in for the domination. Noey hiding, but oh, what? eUnited wasn't even ready for him. Noey just picks up both of them for free.
Oh my God. A real lapse in communication. That's really going to put a blunder or even damper any positive vibes that you do have going on. But eUnited, somehow, some way, still able to hold two hills under their control for the time being. And they even have two players set up on each of them. So they just now took the lead, and they're going to have an opportunity to hold on to it. But Hive, they have this split push coming through, but they need to give Solurs time to help either side of this map. And it does look like they're going to have that 3v2 advantage. But like I talked about, that living organism, which is eUnited, they're attacking on the low side simultaneously. They don't want to leave this up to chance.
No, they definitely don't. And they absolutely shouldn't. You want as much control as possible here. Either way, though, Hive looking to make a round, or at least objectively try to make things a bit interesting, but eUnited continues to hold on to control. And that's the thing about Vasgar. It's so hard. Once you fall behind in the later portions, it's just so difficult to get on all three hills. You have to really split up your forces, split up your troops. In this case, it's going to be TJ by himself, forced into a 1v3, but even so, the shock, he can't go anywhere. And eUnited holds on. They bring it 3-2.
And every single round eUnited wins into the second half after trailing 3-1 is just gonna put a damper on everything Hive is doing. To me, Hive is one of those teams similar to Rise, when things are not going their way, when you're trying everything that you have and you start getting eliminated, you start staggering your deaths, you start playing as individuals, you lose that composure, and eUnited will feed off of that. And then, like we talked about, Hive starting to have fun, eUnited will then begin to have fun. You'll start hearing it if we did have listen-ins, the laughter coming out from Xplosive, the trash talk coming out from Praized. But until that point happens, until we're at least tied up, I don't think that's going to be the case. Hive, it's going to be a huge swing round, not only to go up onto the map point to force a map number 3, but to keep the momentum onto your side.
I agree, and it's much the same thing from the not the last round, but the round previously, the last round of the first half, right? Getting that 3-1 lead was important, and much the same here. Hive needs to get this 4-2 lead and not allow eUnited to bring it back, bring it 3-3, and at least in their minds, right, have the opportunity to say, we have a real shot here. We have a chance, and it's not on the back of winning 3 straight rounds. All we need to do is just win 2 more rounds because we're even. Hive off the start, though, is going to look to take the 2-1 with D and F, but it's not going to be easy. INZEM is being crossed by a couple of members, but TJ is there to help dance around, but immediately the forces from eUnited are there. That's going to force those members back. It's going to be a 3v3.
See it. Slowly eUnited gearing up for their push. Talked about giving them time. This is the early portions of the game. Xplosive seeing what he can grab. INZEM has the angle necessary. Down coming through. Not able to clean up the elimination. Praized goes in, trying to buy some time for that revive to come through, but Xplosive goes down again. Powerz and Xplosive retreat in 2 different angles. Does look like they're on different pages there for a moment. Big back A opportunity. Kenny able to get 1. Damage being taken. Almost gets 2 onto Noey and forcing multiple members to backtrack, but it's not going to be enough time to buy. You see it. Hive is already there, putting multiple members onto the home hill of eUnited. They want to keep these 2 hills into their favor, or at the very least keep it neutralized so eUnited can't come back.
Wow, 4-man push. They're committing everything to this, but even so, that Lancer fire is hurting, and Xplosive understands I need to push forward and get these members out of the way. Man, the chain revives are going to be critical, and Praized gets chunked in the end. INZEM takes them down, and Hive looks to be holding on to control.
Right over the top here for Solurs and the side of Hive. Reinforcements are on the way. INZEM coming to help today. Big shot being fired out. Solurs answers back, saving INZEM and his team some points here into this one, as they got neutralized on the other side of the map as well. Multiple players getting taken out, Death being staggered. INZEM seems like he's going to be the next target. Lots of Lancer fire going down. He's going to have to retreat before Praized pushes up on him. So 2 hills continuously being into the hands of eUnited. Hive's going to have to gear up for a little bit of a split push right now, because they allow eUnited to defensively set up, have 3 players lancing them down. It's going to be an uphill battle. You have to spread out the numbers, try to catch somebody off guard like they're doing to you.
And again, since we're in this later portion of the round, now you have these 2 fights that are split on E as well as F that are going to be instrumental for each side to take the lead. And for Hive, it means a lot. If eUnited wins either of these fights, it is over with. But Noey pulls up, takes down 1, goes in for the second onto Kenny. But on the other side, it's a 1v1, and player 9, Kenny, will win the fight. But is it enough? The 2-1 goes over to Hive, and that's the win condition. But eUnited's fresh off of respawn. They're sitting 2 players in the F, but they have to battle against TJ and INZEM. The scoreline is close. F is being broken, and that's going to send eUnited back with the win condition themselves. Hive understands this. That's why they send players 3 and 4 of Noey and Solurs directly into Kenny.
See them attacking that 3v2. They have the win condition. INZEM going for a little bit of a flank, trying to get the decap, but he's in a 1v2 situation. Too much damage being put out. He's going to fall. Noey's going to be the last hope for this team, and he goes down as well. So eUnited, in the last stages of this round, are able to hold on to this one and tie it up 3 rounds apiece. And they already lead 1-0 in the series, so Hive, they need to figure out a way to keep the momentum on their side, because as soon as the second half hit, 2 in a row for eUnited.
Man, and you mentioned how important it was for Hive to take that round, and it was important, but eUnited holds on, ties it up 3-3, and again, with it being a tied ball game now, knowing that you were down 3-1, in your mind, you now feel powerful. You feel as if you can come back, and you can, well, not even come back at this point, but now this is your time to shine and your time to take this series. Hive lost map number 1 on Harbor, so now eUnited has the ability to win this series 2-0 if they can just lock in these next 2. This next round is absolutely critical.
For a second there, I thought they were going to try to match with the retro every 60 seconds. This puts a similar situation onto Hive, to where they're going to have to either sacrifice the lock or put a weapon center line. So it's going to get interesting to see how this one does play out. Are we going to see a repeat of what we've done before in map number 1? But Praized trying to take the positioning. Everybody really in their standard positioning to open off some of these rounds. So it's a little bit of a chess match. Fighting for inches, getting somebody off guard, catching somebody on an up A, which they should have. And Noey is going to pick up those incense a little late, which is okay, because now you can rotate them over and put them to use.
Oof. Both teams understand this is a big round. That's why that big standstill on E is there. And eUnited is going to slowly make their way forward, but that shock is going to hurt, especially if he can split Kenny and Powerz here. Forced to back off because the Lancer fire, but what's the game plan, Jacob? When does he decide to throw that shock out? Noey has to Lancer in the cross as well. So it seems as if both teams are just kind of stuck. Kenny gonna throw a shock of his own. He wants to get Noey out of the way, which is fair enough, but he holds on to it. He baits out the shock, though. That's good.
That was perfect. That was actually perfect. And you notice, INZEM and Noey both have the utility on this side of the map versus just the shock from Kenny. So they could have tried to push this. They could have thrown the very similar shock grenade that Kenny threw behind INZEM a couple of rounds prior. I just don't understand. They're just being complacent right now in terms of not having to make the move. I don't know if they're not looking for the move, but finally Noey with those instants, pushing up, trying to get in position. You see 3 players rotated over here on the side of Hive, so they're going to try to go for this early capture. Well-placed shock grenade coming out from Kenny, so they're not going to get the capture, but on the other side, eUnited have an opportunity at a 1v2 situation. TJ is going through. How does he get the down? And he gets a kill. That's going to be a big trade, but it's going to favor eUnited there for a second, though. This is where that instant are so crucial. Noey throws them out just to stagger their positioning to get that early capture. The pressure is going to be put on eUnited here to make a move.
United is definitely looking to make that move too, and you already know Kenny's going to get aggressive with this. Noey's going to be forced back. Watch your steps, though. INZEM's going to be up there. This 1v1 is going to be absolutely big for Kenny. If he wins this, he's going to be able to help his teammate down low, and he doesn't. INZEM's going to be able to also take down Praized, and this is looking like a Hive round if I've ever seen it. eUnited is going to have to come back so far. Powerz, though, picks up 1, and this could mean that eUnited could be okay, even though they suffered a 20-point loss. The E-heal still neutralized. Points dead even just about, and man, this fight is almost everything.
Powerz doing a good job. He didn't push that fight, even though he had the damage advantage. He waited for his teammates to spawn up and help him. That's going to give them control over this neutral, but they're trying to get the elimination in the positioning, and it's so important. Xplosive on the other side of the map that goes down, so does Kenny, and they're going to go ahead and overextend. INZEM and his teammate are going to go out of the other side of the map, try to get that neutralization. There's not much eUnited can do here in this situation. They don't have enough players alive. They have to attack almost instantly on these players' respawn.
This is going to be so hard again for eUnited to take this. They almost need a eUnited special at this point, and we'll see if they can do so. But they got a lot of work cut out for them again because Hive is constantly rotating around. And even though there's 3 members wolfpacking from eUnited to take over F, you can already see Hive reallocating their forces around. So player 9 needs to hold his own. Kenny needs to take down Noey, but at least he gets the down, though. That's going to be big, but TJ is there for the pickup, and that should be enough. Because now you got 2 players dealing with player 4. Solurs just trying to stay alive and waste as much time as possible. He drops off, but he wasted enough time that Hive, or excuse me, eUnited cannot get onto D in time. That was just a great round, Jacob.
It definitely was a great round for Hive, and those are the rounds Hive kind of need because they're one of those teams, they thrive in the chaos. They thrive in the confusion that does go on in these scenarios. If you're able to catch eUnited off guard, stagger the deaths, and really cause a lot of chaos on certain sides of the map, they're not able to use the time to go ahead and formulate the strategies, to formulate the plans. You go ahead and force them to rely on muscle memory, and that kind of humanizes them in some aspects when it comes to strategy, when it comes to looking at the bigger picture, because you know Hive, their strength is aggression, their strength is going in and causing that chaos that we just saw.
Ooh, Torque Bow on tank. You talk about chaos. Hive wants it. They place it down, but after all, both teams are, I think, going to be happy with the shotgun instance that they have, right? That's going to be what they really want, but eUnited does have the disable. Fair enough.
That's going to be big. I told you it was going to be Hive that has to put that weapon down if they're going to save their lock. If they weren't going to save their lock, then you put 2 weapons down, but going to be an interesting one because it is going to be eUnited with the good side. They're actually overextending, putting 4 players over here on this side of the map. Big fight through the middle from Kenny. They're able to get these 2 quick eliminations to start off this round. eUnited, they want to close it out in 2. They want to force a round number 9. INZEM's able to get 1. Quickly gets taken out, though, so that hill instantly is going to change hands. And Powerz, we've seen him with power weapons before. Misses the torque bow. That was one of the easiest shots, and I don't get it because he hit some amazing torque bows that he shouldn't hit. But when it comes to the easy ones, they're the real hard ones. They're the real hard ones.
100. Well, I mean, look, Ryan says it best. The hardest shots to hit are when your opponent's not looking at you or standing still, and we just saw a great example of that. Tough break, but even so, the bus can't stop just because you missed 1 shot. Kenny must keep it going, and he'll take down Noey, get the decap, and Powerz going to have his overlook to allow Kenny to get the full cap, and that's going to keep eUnited back in, or at least put them back into an opportunity to maybe tie it up. But man, Kenny taken down from INZEM. Now Powerz definitely needs to connect.
He thought only that 1 player was there, tries to go for a quick torque bow with that active. Only that 1 opportunity at this, unable to thread the needle there. Gets a little bit of splash damage, but I don't think it's enough to get joyous about and try to push up like it does look like he's trying to do. But a flank coming through. Kenny, one of those players that didn't die off of respawn, and immediately see Xplosive coming up. So eUnited, they want to attack this neutral. The score is only 1 second differential. So if they're able to get control of this, that will be the difference maker. 2 players go down. INZEM and Solurs will get defeated. The hill is going to go over towards eUnited, but INZEM and one of his teammates, I do believe that's Noey on this side of the map, they're going to create that confusion. It's actually TJ and Noey going ahead and decapping that hill. So what was a good job for eUnited instantly turned on its side for Hive.
So Kenny's going on to flank, but he's about to be flanked by INZEM, so he needs to and he doesn't even get Noey, so Noey handles his business on the hill. And at this point, it's going to be pretty chaotic as eUnited is looking to lock in a hill. Noey's looking to push up on the Powerz. That's a big knock. Any kill that Noey is getting at this point, that's a second. Are you kidding me? eUnited is in trouble. Despite them looking to get the 2-1, Hive is making some great moves. And because the pressure is real, Noey is picking up elimination or even knock after knock. That's allowing Hive to send their forces to the other objective, right? And just continue to keep that 2-1 hill advantage.
You can already see United, they have been playing very, very heavily towards this neutral in towards this second half. And I don't know if Hive is going to take no to that. Maybe they're just playing reactionary to where Hive is sending their numbers. But right now, they're able to get 1 elimination. They have 3 players over here. So if they want to continue to push this, they will have the advantage, especially since that revive is going to come through. INZEM needs to get a one-shot chunk. He's chasing a player down. It is going to come through thanks with the help of Noey. So a 3v2 is turning into a 2v2 battle. Lots of damage being brought out by Kenny. And you see the reinforcements are there. A player off of respawn coming to save the day. 3v1. Kenny's able to get 1. Praized gets taken out. Powerz is taken out. 4 players dead at one point or another. And the last seconds of this round, Hive, they're beginning to piece it together. The win condition has changed. Xplosive not only chasing down that target, he needs to neutralize this hill as well. Former teammates turn foes. Xplosive, not enough time on his back. He's not going to be able to touch the hill. And Hive will take the map and force a game number 3.
And well done from Hive. Again, objectively playing so well. Noey being so influential in that round number 8, the final round that gave Hive the victory. Again, any knock or any kill that he was able to achieve meant his teammates were able to go and at least rotate on the hills objectively, right? They were able to do some work, and you can even see the stat line at the end, 20 and 15. Don't know the deaths, but I know he was definitely at the upper echelon of the KDA. Very well done from Noey. He was really the MVP of that Vasgar, and the real reason as to why, of course, Hive was able to take it. It's a great series underway. It's been just great gears in general. You love to see it. We still have one map, though, Jacob. One map to take it all. Who's going to win, eUnited or Hive? We'll find out after this. Welcome back to Emergence Day Season 3, Week 20 Grand Finals, heading in to map number 3. It's going to be Exhibit. Hive and eUnited have been battling to see who's going to win a championship tonight. Granted, eUnited, if they win here, this will be the first time they have won a an Emergence Days championship since the advent of 4v4, or since 4v4 came into the mix. I believe they won 5 whenever it was 5v5 here in Season 3. But 4v4, they're looking to secure their first championship. Now, for Hive, though, they're looking to match Fire and Ice with 3 total championships. So both teams fighting for something special. Which one is going to get the victory in the end, Jacob?
That's going to be a question we're going to have answered here in a short moment, because Hive, they were able to tie this one up towards the very end to force a game number 3. And you kind of saw it. I don't think there's just one person on Hive that really stepped up to the plate, because time and time again, saw TJ getting multi-kills, Solurs coming up clutch defensively, Noey making those sneaky plays, and even INZEM popping off time and time again. There goes an example of Noey right there.
Yeah, Noey just was, I mean, seriously, Noey was incredible. And again, the longer he stayed alive, the more downs that he got, because he was finding himself in tough spots where he was looking at a wall of eUnited players. Again, any knock or any down or any kill he was able to get, this was the moment. So just fending off Powerz, right? Powerz is now down. It goes through, I know it's not shown, but he ends up snubbing out, I believe, Xplosive on the other side, taking him down. His teammate is able to finish him off. Again, that allows Hive to then send more numbers over to the objective to maintain the lead that they already already had. So very well done from Noey. We got a close series. We're heading into Exhibit. We've already seen Hive tonight play Exhibit fairly well. Okay, they played against Fire and Ice. They got a 5-2 victory, and that speaks volumes about Hive's ability to be able to play that map or just play tonight in general. Fire and Ice is a great Exhibit team, and the reason why is because of their initials and their slaying power, right? That's what makes them so strong on Exhibit. A strong initial, a strong slaying power can take you a long way. It's all CQC, close quarter combat, so something to take into account. But for, again, you go historically for the side of eUnited, Jacob, they're a great team. So which one has the edge? Truthfully, which one has the edge?
I mean, I want to say because of history, you got to think eUnited has the edge. Historically, I think maybe they might still all time have the most win percentage when it comes to a map like Exhibit. But, I said something earlier. I'll say it again, and I'll say it tomorrow. What have you done for me lately? And you can kind of see it because it's our tiebreaker map. It's not picked instantly. It's not being favored as heavily on the side of eUnited as it once was. And I think teams are also taking note of that because they're not banning it away like they once was. So I do think Hive might have a little bit of the upper hand in terms of how this match starts. But when it comes to eUnited, you literally cannot count them out at any portions of the game. They can flip the switch at a moment's notice, and they can outthink you at a moment's notice. They can try to bait you in, but I will say the shining light for Hive right now is going to be the fact is how aggressive this map plays overall. They are the more aggressive team following the meta right now, but like I said, the smarts, the brains has to go over to eUnited.
All right, so I agree with that. I really do, and I remember at the beginning when we were kind of breaking down the maps, you said if it goes to map 3, you have to tip your hat to Hive. And honestly, you might be right in this moment. I mean, again, getting momentum, winning that last map 5-3, you took your opponent's map pick, but eUnited did much the same, right, in map 1. So it goes both ways. Off the rip, though, eUnited isn't holding back. They are pushing in strongly, but man, maybe even pushing back even stronger should be Hive. But looks like with the chain revives, Kenny and Powerz are back into the fight. Xplosive, big fight against TJ, who, of course, will end up getting the elimination, but Powerz is right there. That's why you have teammates to be able to capitalize, and it looks like a great start for eUnited as long as INZEM doesn't push it on the Powerz.
I'm going to say, it looks like a great start when it comes to those eliminations, but INZEM did a good job of making eUnited kind of backtrack and get their own home hill back, but it was kind of flipped up because Kenny did the same thing, running past each other towards the top side. But the elimination, that play from both of these players forced their teammates to make that decision. Do we backtrack? Do we go forward? And right now, Hive made the great decision to attack these players, not necessarily put all their eggs in getting their home hill, because they realize they can kind of do that a little later after they get the positioning towards the mid ground, because now they're going to have 2 hills in their favor. They get the lead away from eUnited, not too much so far. That's kind of forcing eUnited to spread the numbers, and this is where we see Xplosive doing what Kenny typically does, go towards the top half of the map, and that's exactly how you spread out the numbers. So now you see Hive has to send 1, possibly 2 members over to deal with what could be a huge flank coming out from Xplosive. It
definitely could be, and TJ's also ready to go. Looks like Xplosive is going to go ahead and back off, and I think he's absolutely waiting for the fight down low to see how it goes. Again, Xplosive doesn't have to commit as much if his team is winning the 3v3 or the 2v2 down low. Powerz hits a nice shot on INZEM, but still gets chunked. I know he's upset about that one. Kenny's going to take his place, and new challenger approaches by the name of TJ, but of course you have the Lancer Fire also helping from the backside of him, and well, Hive retakes control. Tough break.
TJ, the awareness, spots out Xplosive, knows he's there, knows his teammates there as well. Xplosive doing a good job of buying as much time as he can with the flashbang, but the numbers are there. They're going to continuously push up. Praized with a flank. That's exactly what Xplosive was waiting for, but too little too late comes that one, as the eliminations are going to go in favor of Hive, but Solurs kind of left all by his lone, so Powerz immediately jumps into the hill. There's nobody really there to kind of help Solurs answer back just yet. They're going to be off of respawn, so eUnited doing a good job of step number 1, neutralize that hill. Step number 2 now is get the eliminations, because you don't win off of 2 hills anymore.
You definitely don't, and man, yeah, this definitely ends up working out. Hive is just looking good, but eUnited, again, this is their moment to shine, right? 20 seconds. Can they wolf back and push Hive back to the brink of a domination? Starts with Praized up top. They'll get isolated. This is just a great defensive work from Hive. And again, they don't have to push them as long as they can just keep them back. That's one less member eUnited is going to have. And it looks as if, it's not going to come through. Maybe the break from Praized is there. No, just a hair away. But regardless, Hive was ready to shut it down. They lead 1-0. Good start, but a long round.
It's going to be a long map number 3 for both of these teams. Definitely going to come down to the wire. That's kind of like what we've been teased with all day. Yeah, a couple of rounds did get one on the initial, but I don't think the majority of them have. It does come down to the mid game. It does come down to that chess match, and you already saw it there early on. The mismatch of hills, Kenny and INZEM trading off that home hill, and then that's when both teams had to make the decision, and that's what gave eUnited the upper hand, and they were able to hold on from there on out.
All right, round number 2, Boltox are in play. Those hurt, so you already know the person who's going to be calling the shots basically at that little coverage point. I call it, well, I mean, you know, just the elevated portion overlooking the neutral. They're going to be able to obviously hurt the opposition. So we'll see who that's going to be up top, though. Battle will be underway once again. Praized is going to be up there. I do believe it's a challenge onto INZEM maybe, but actually INZEM's not even going to be matched by anybody. So he almost has a free lane. Of course, those 2 members from eUnited are going to backtrack. But as you've been saying, Jacob, whoever goes up top forces a member back, and that's a member you don't have fighting for the neutral. But either way, eUnited can afford this because they already have B locked in.
Yep, and that's the reason why they didn't send anybody up top. They needed that extra damage, the extra Lancer down low, so that way they could safely jump into the neutral and get that capture. And then you see Kenny, that player that normally went up top, immediately right back out, getting into position to stop this overextension from going through. And that little bit of Lancer, they're not necessarily know they're going to get the down on Xplosive. It's about sharing information, getting that mark out, and allowing the rest of your team to formulate a plan. And this is where you almost got to think a 2-man push from each of the team is going to go out, possibly start here on this side of the map, but it's actually going to start on the other. They're trying to get position. They're forcing Praized out, and they immediately give it up because they still have to attack the home hill simultaneously if they're going to win it. But now this is where both teams are going to end up in a 2v2 battle here onto the neutral. Powerz with a lot of damage being dished out. Xplosive somehow finding a little bit of an angle for the top side, but the elimination is going to go through for Powerz.
It definitely is, and Praized, trying to follow up, can't make it happen. Hive retakes the neutral, staggering out Praized, fair enough. It's still a long way to come back, though, and this is going to be tough. It's always difficult to come back on a map such as this, and with Xplosive connecting his Boltox, you got to keep your head down. But it's a 1v2 up there, and it's interesting that Hive is committing so much to defending that top side. I hope this doesn't put them at a disadvantage when eUnited commits to taking the neutral.
Yeah, they only have a few seconds of an advantage here. You also see the rotation coming through. They spotted that player out from the top. That was going to be Noey giving that information over, and that's exactly why Hive decided to rotate down towards the bottom. They get Kenny out of position. I do think that was Solurs and Noey possibly putting that damage out. They're able to clean that one up, but that cost Solurs his life on the other side of that one. So eUnited doing a good job holding on to the lead for now, fighting for every inch. They're going to neutralize this hill, and that continues to put the pressure back and forth between these two.
And United retaking the neutral, well done. That's going to continue their lead forward. Big hold from Powerz, though, and can't get it. Lancer down. Xplosive also on the other side. Kenny's going to be there for the pickup. This is big. TJ, though, is going to be joining into the fight. Not a good spot for him to be in, but he must attack. He understands eUnited is so close to victory. INZEM's going to pick up one, goes in for the second. Xplosive is going to be full red. He's going to drop. Powerz, though, from around the cover will take him out, and that will all but solidify this round for eUnited. We're neck and neck at 1-1.
Yep. Just like this round coming down to the wire, and nobody really making that heavy move to gain momentum. The weapon selection screen is going to be exactly the same. You're going to see that pistol getting upgraded towards that retro, and you're going to see both teams really put it to use. And I don't think we're going to see that similar strategy come out. As you saw an audible in the beginning of that round, you said it yourself. Nobody went up top to contest INZEM, and that was because Kenny went down low to make sure his team solidified that hill. I don't think that's going to be the case, so INZEM just has to be careful. If you don't see anybody up top, Kenny could be hiding.
And you don't want Kenny to be hiding. All right, you don't want Kenny getting behind enemy lines. You don't want him taking you down, because that is a force to be reckoned with. The Egghead, man, we've seen how well he's been playing to date, even in Pro League this week. Telling you, that is not a man that you want unaccounted for. Praized down low. TJ just on the other side. The retros are awesome to have, though, and Kenny is going to be up top this time to face off against INZEM. This battle has been well underway for some time. He knows the lasers are coming in. He's just going to go ahead and poke and be annoying to INZEM for the time being, which INZEM might be going for the push. You're trying to bait out the utility, and there it is. So now INZEM goes for the push. Kenny, though, hits a couple of great shots, finishes them, and the top lane is wide open. Do that again. Now
they have to worry all at the same time. While fighting this battle down low, they have to be wary of a flank that is coming coming through. Praized is going to be the flanker from the other side of the map, but he bites off more than he can chew. Why didn't he just Lancer? It's like shooting fish in a barrel, but triple cap domination sounding off. Solurs goes to hop over the cover. He doesn't get it, and a triple cap round coming through, led by Kenny, and the 1v1 up top.
There's no better feeling than winning a round and then chaining it together in just 54 seconds. It's got to feel good. There's no drama. There's no craziness taking place. You just lock it in clean and simple. Very well done from eUnited, taking that 2-1 lead, and well done from Kenny up top, winning that fight against INZEM again, keeping them unaccounted for. Now all of a sudden you got to find the numbers, but in the meantime there's still chaos ensuing because you got the eUnited members who already have the neutral and they're already pushing forward. So very well done. Hive failed to react, and it just all happened so quickly that by the time they tried to react, what could they even do? So Hive now looking to maybe break the mold, keep the retro, maybe not keep the retro, maybe they want the shock. And yes, they will. So more firepower on the side of eUnited. Shock on the one end. Shock is great, but it's a one-time use.
Definitely is. And you know, Xplosive holds on to that retro as long as possible. He doesn't put himself in early situations to get eliminated unless he absolutely has to. So he's going to be holding out that retro for a long time unless Hive pry it from his cold, dead fingers. And immediately it's Noey going up top along with INZEM. A little bit of an audible coming out for Hive early on. It could be because of that shock grenade. They can easily try to throw it, but TJ goes down. And that's going to be 2 coming down from Xplosive. Mr. Krabs play. Everybody trying to backtrack, and Hive get caught slipping. Noey trying to be the hero, able to get 1 elimination. A flash grenade. He needs to get the break as the return flash coming through, and Kenny gets the chainsaw and the round. No, he doesn't get the round, but TJ's keeping it going. He gets the decap and the kill. Somehow I find a way to prolong this round.
Wow, I actually have no clue. That took me by surprise that TJ even got the touch. I thought it was over with. Powerz, though, being the sneaky man, counting the numbers. TJ doesn't even know what's hitting him, but he's choosing to dip out. And now Powerz gets away without, honestly, really didn't get much value from that. I thought he was going to go to Value Town with that one. So now he's going to go mid and create his own value. TJ on the other side, he's going to drop. INZEM, though, looking to clutch up. He's gone. Powerz doing a great job isolating these members. Can't get onto B just yet. He's going to allow Xplosive to do so. And Powerz looks as if he's going to go in and try and get behind enemy lines again.
Another 1v1, one up top. Kenny, this time he's not pressing forward. That's why I always talk about the switch situations, when to push forward, when to set up, when to triple cap. There were so many eliminations on the side of Hive. Kenny pushes up. He's basically asking to get pushed, but instead he's going to try to backtrack. You see Praized is ready because Kenny relaying that information there with a couple of marks, probably vocally as well. Big lance damage being put out. They should be able to get the down on 1. I don't know if they're going to be able to get 2. TJ's trying to backtrack. The damage mitigation is going to save him for now, but not for long as Kenny pulls out the bolt talk to clean that one up. He needs to be careful because INZEM can get pushed by Praized while simultaneously taking those big bolt talk shots over the top side. So Hive have to turn their tail and run here, but they have to run into an offensive matter because right now turtling up is not an option.
And I'm not seeing any indication as to Hive being able to take this round. I really don't. They will get the neutralization on B, but 6 and 8 are going to drop off. That's TJ and Noey, 2 big playmakers. Powerz also going to be at the forefront. The team pickups aren't there, but into the blender, a couple more go, and that's all but going to solidify it for eUnited to take it 3-1. And Jacob, that's off a great start.
Yeah, this is the first half right now, and eUnited's a team. If you go up early, that potential for them to come back will always be there. Right now, Hive is one of those teams where sometimes they might get down on themselves. They might be beating up on themselves right now, not necessarily on the same page and not convincingly, but you kind of see it in their gameplay, the missteps. A couple of times players not necessarily on the same pages when it comes to pushes. You saw 2 players go up top trying to push across, but necessarily those 2 players down low got picked off. They needed to stay alive, use the shock in towards the middle and allow your guys up top to make the moves. And that kind of shows what's been really ailing Hive here in this 3rd map.
All right, so United obviously has the momentum, the wind in their sails. Hive struggling to figure out what they need to do at this point in time. But I gotta say, United is definitely on point. They are looking impressive, to say the least. And now you got the retro and the hammer burst. It's going to pay dividends. And truthfully, the shock just doesn't have as much value on this map as it does on others, say training grounds, maybe even Harbor. Take your pick, but it is what it is. That's a decision Hive has made. They're standing behind it by doubling down, keeping the shock on the map, plus the bolt talk in play. Eggheads are coming through in chat. INZEM, a little bit of a bait and switch and takes down Kenny. Well done.
I think that was a little bit of a curse right there. Maybe a little bit of a curse with that when it comes to it. So too many eggs. Looking like Humpty Dumpty the way he got scrambled right now. But United, I talked about it. They don't give any inches up easy. They might have lost Kenny up top, but they're doing everything they can down low. Praized is able to get one, pushing TJ back for the other. I do believe that might have been INZEM overextending to neutralize any point gain coming out from eUnited. Even though they're doing a good job cleaning up these eliminations up until that point, they're not getting any actual hill points or credit for everything that they're doing. So Hive right now are getting gifted opportunities to come off of respawn, get back into position before eUnited even gains a lead.
Okay, so at this point in time, Powerz will lock in the neutral, but he's surrounded by Hive members who are looking to take him down. INZEM with the hammer burst is going to be beneficial, especially given the fact it's not even his. So taking that away from E's got to feel good. Ooh, Praized full red. Noey, though, in a tough spot. So is INZEM. Big moves, and that's going to be huge because now the door's wide open for eUnited to pressure forward.
They're crumbling. They're crumbling right now. Hive, I don't want to say they're just throwing their lives away because obviously it's well-fought battles, but it's just not working out. In some situations, they'd win the 50-50. Now they're just battling to stay alive, just to stay in this game, and that's not exactly the position you want to be in. You need to figure out a way to win these individual battles, start winning that momentum, and work together as a full team. Shrug it off. This is map number 3, and with some money on the line as well. You're looking to tie up Fire and Ice's record for most E-Days won this season.
And that's going to be impressive. I know Fire and Ice is going to be sweating after that one. They're going to need to step up their game if Hive takes this, but it's just not looking possible. It's really not, man. eUnited is just on fire, looking solid, and everything Hive does, immediately countered by eUnited. Immediately countered. And I'm telling you, eUnited is looking different. They are built different at this point in time.
Yep. I already see them geared up for a push on the side of Hive. So much damage being put out before the splash even left his hands. Now they're trying to push this mismatch onto Kenny into 1v2. Great shots coming through, staggering the down, staggering the revives. 2 quick eliminations are going to be won. Noey doing what he can to try to clean this one up. He's able to get that kill onto Praized. He has to push forward, and Kenny turns him down 3-1. eUnited looking to go on series point as they're now 4-1 over Hive.
4-1, man. You talk about flipping the script, baby. It's been a close series up until this point. 4 in a row, and we have seen some decent comebacks tonight, but it's just not looking likely. I haven't seen, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Jake, but I haven't seen anything special from Hive to indicate that they can come back in this map.
I honestly haven't seen anything from Hive to indicate they're playing as a team, to be honest, in this map. They're just getting staggered out. Early on, it did look that way. It looked like they were on the same page. They were fighting for this life, but these last 2 rounds especially, they're getting picked off one by one. They're going in. They're trying to be heroes and getting 0 kills out of it instead of trying to backtrack, instead of trying to buy some time for your team to stay alive that we saw in the first 2 maps.
Potential final round, potential series going to eUnited here. If they could just lock in this one final round. Kenny picking up the ensign. Oh, immediately thrown out INZEM into flames, but staying alive. Kenny probably surprised just as much as I am, and he goes ahead and backs off in the meantime. Both ensigns are now gone. Praized against TJ down low. He's going to choose to retreat. Noey in hot pursuit will take him down as Praized decided to, double back a little bit. Maybe see, is he really going to chase me, or can I just maybe press the envelope and push forward? Well, that was the wrong decision. So Hive off to a much better start. Kenny now understands that the neutral is gone, so I think that makes him want to push this fight a little bit more, see if he can gain some advantage here. And INZEM's running away. Does he get away? He does not, but the team pickup from TJ is there. Kenny might be in trouble.
Yep. INZEM, all right, Kenny does have some belt towards the backside. Hopefully that's going to be there as they continue to push this up. Actually, Xplosive not pushing up to try and help Kenny. That's exactly why he's got to back up. But Praized gets taken out by Solurs. Looking for 2 as he fights Powerz next. He gets the help necessary. But that's going to be 2 kills for Hive as a whole, even though Powerz is going to be credited those. Xplosive is going to back him up, and I like what he's doing here. They're trailing 4-1. They're not getting greedy. They're trying to win the battles that are right in front of them and trying to play the long game. They're not getting over aggressive, so they also are giving eUnited time for a push back, and we know what they're able to do at times.
Yeah, we definitely know they can do it. I mean, both teams are incredibly talented. It just, I don't know. I mean, Praized picking up that's big. Still a deficit, though. Let's keep that in mind. Hive still has that lead and could be their safety. Netting INZEM. Great shot against Kenny. And immediately Powerz, it looks as if, is going to go ahead and take that top spot now to keep INZEM at bay. Not allow him to get value, because this is the thing. INZEM can take down Kenny all he wants, right? But as long as he can't push forward and go for an overextension, that's one less player Hive has to lock in the neutral, to maintain the neutral, or even push for an OE.
Yep. And right now, I said, what does the United do at time? They outplay you. They outsmart you. So it's going to be up to Hive here. They have plenty of time on their own, but Solurs goes in. A nice trade and kills from Noey and Praized. As Praized has his eyes set on Noey. He knows he's a little bit weak. There goes the down to come through. He's going to clean that one up. Doesn't want any revives to happen. United's going to hold on to these two hills. They're gaining the lead. They're going to be able to gain it back here in just a few short moments. TJ and the rest of Hive need to figure out a way to spawn back up and have this one last second push. They don't have a ton of time to do it. Somebody needs to start overextending over the top.
They definitely do, and man, I don't even know if anybody's in this spot. I'm looking at the mini-map, and nobody's pushing forward. Player 9 is going to drop INZEM and Solurs, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to say it if you're a Hive fan, but I love to say it if you're eUnited. They're going to take this map, take this series, and for the first time in 4v4 E-Days, will be champions of E-Day. Fantastic work from them. 5 in a row. Perfect way to end the night.
Hey, you guys better beware. Esports, eUnited have woken up. Yeah, I said Esports, man. I said a little bit wrong there, but it's okay. The point is, eUnited has woken up. This is something I warned people about. I really did warn people about. Warned that first week of the Pro League when I saw them play. This is a team, they don't have to worry about finding themselves with a new fifth. And like I said, unfair pressure was put on TJ. He was definitely not the problem. It was a team problem. But you take away having to fill that fifth player's position, and you go ahead and solidify that chemistry you've already built with the 4 players that kind of completed that perfect season for Kenny and Powerz. So it's going to really be interesting to see how some of these teams plan for eUnited going into the future, because now it's a team that have found themselves. They're not that middle of the pack team that they were last split. It's going to be dangerous. It's definitely going to be dangerous, but luckily for Hive, this is on E-Days. You have another opportunity during the Pro League to take him out. So you better be glued to that VOD. Keem, the coach out there, you better have watched this, taken notes, to prepare your team for the next VOD session.
100%. That next VOD session is going to be important. I want you to have a VOD session too. Maybe not about E-Days, but at least whenever it comes to MSP, or maybe even for the previous Pro League. Man, I'm telling you, I love your insight, brother. You give it out there, and I even learn. I learned quite a bit, actually, whenever I do end up watching those. Hey, good night overall. Wonderful series to close it out. It genuinely was. And I must say, you know, Hive had a lot of strong moments. INZEM especially really played well. But also, you know, even Noey, right? Noey played so incredibly well on Vasgar. He was the main reason as to why they were able to win that. But when it comes down to Exhibit, honestly, it's just it's really a give and take. I think everybody kind of had their moment to shine on eUnited. Who would be the MVP? I think overall, collectively, I don't even know. I want to say Kenny, I really do, because I thought he did well, but then again, Powerz had his moments too.
Yeah, no, I definitely do got to agree with you. It's kind of hard to pick in these situations. That's why I leave it up. I leave it up to the staff, the admins, the production, all of you guys. You guys can pick the MVP. I'll agree with it or I'll disagree with it. But right now, it just goes to show that every single one of these players in the lobby today, all 8 of them, are some of the best players in Gears. I know that's, you know, redundant to be able to say that over and over, but it's about how you're playing as a team during that match in the moment. And right now, United firing all cylinders to go ahead and take that win. But will that be the case come Pro League? Will that be the case come next week on E-Days? Only time will tell. But you see the scores: 5-4 on Harbor, 5-3 Vasgar going over to Hive, and Exhibit closed out 5-1 by United. They were done. They weren't done with their games. They're ready for dinner.